Amazing. Okay, so setup wise, pretty good. Okay, nothing really major with that apart from sort of distance from the ball. I say just a little bit further from it, just to get a bit more lean. That's going to help you sort of put some pressure into this left wrist as we hinge. If you're sort of too close, almost like putting setup, you tend to want to hinge your wrist this way a bit more, yeah? You get a little bit further down over it, it just helps that sort of preset hinge. The main issue, as we said, when you get to the top of the backswing, okay, is for you now, we talked about this in the last swing, sort of holding your body back, okay? You're doing that nicely now. With the irons, you've got to start shifting. You don't really shift, so when you come back into impact, the body has stayed back. There, back a frame. There's your impact here. Hands we see sort of behind the goal port, certainly in the middle of part of your right thigh. As we expected with this, with a bit of practice, we kind of move the hands over basically the middle of your body, as you'll see in a second, okay? As we go back, we're going to, bit of a hinge in the wrist then, as that sort of left wrist sort of pushing down. Good top of the backswing position out. We've got to feel that left, and look at the mirror behind you, sort of pushing down. You've moved away from that spot, and you've moved down a lot more, okay? As you come back into impact, we still slightly unhinge the wrist there. There's impact. They've moved. There's a bit of daylight between the edge of your thigh here compared to where it was, yeah? If this feels to you like you've moved miles left on there, and that's the thing, but when you've gone here now, what happens sometimes, you've got to go from, you go from here, think I've moved way left, and then you move left after the shot. See where your head is back here, and then you move left, but then by that time it's too late. So you've got to get yourself from here, pushing down to that left side with that lower half, keeping the angles in those wrists a little bit more, okay? That stick drill will be a good help. If the stick is here, sort of sticking out, okay? As you come back to the golf ball now, you can see if you had that stick there, you probably whacked yourself in the left side already, yeah? So it's learning what that wrist feels like. You say when it feels weird, you're just not sure. I think when you get a bit close to it, it will tend to want to hinge back as you're doing, which makes it very awkward for you to hinge correctly. So that's a little bit further from the ball.
Yep.
A little bit more tipped over the ball. Okay, so we can have a bit more of that hinge. If you're really struggling and hitting some shots, okay, probably not as easy with a 5-iron, but maybe a sort of 7 or 8-iron. Just stay here, keep your hands in that position, just lift the club head up in the air with that sort of wrist hinge, and then make a backswing, yeah? So the club just goes straight up in the air, so it's sort of almost horizontal, maybe sort of like knee high with the club head, hands up there, hinge it up, and then from there, make a full toe, just see what that feel like, yeah? I think you feel a lot better with that, and then try and do, okay, a little bit less of a hinge, and then turn, and try and see if you can get to that same feel up here where it's not so weird without having to do that at all. So you start obviously maybe at fairly full range of motion, so we'll kind of hinge the wrist there, turn, that feels good, okay, right, bit less, that feels the same, okay, that's good. Oh, that feels a bit weird again now, okay, right there, okay, we've got that, there you go, yeah, got it, yeah, that's just practice, yeah, you just got to feel that movement in your right wrist. Because if you start swinging the club back, the second you get a sensation in your brain, it goes, this is weird. What are you going to do? You're going to panic. You're going to like, sometimes go, boom, you just freeze, don't you? Yeah? Like deer in the headlight. So as your club's coming down, you go, oh, this was weird. Well, you can stop your body like that. What's the club going to do? Just flicks past you. So you get that kind of toey, duck hooky one. And as the longer the club gets, the more weird it probably feels because your wrist on a different angle. The shot's going to get progressively worse. So you're 7, 8, 9, 9, you're okay with. 6, maybe a cut off. 5, iron starts going, then 3 with drive and everything else. Maybe up to drive is okay because the ball teed up, you can swing up and out to the right, no problem, yeah? But off the ground there, you're going to struggle with them. So a bit more hinging with that, as I say, but then from here now, there's going to be pressure into that left side. So you're moving down into that left side as you come back down. So some face on here, you can see this movement here. It's not top half, yeah? Just pushing my left hip down into that left side. Okay, mate? Yeah. So long term, and again, the mirrors will be a great help. You want to see yourself as an impact position. I guess where, if I move your hands on the screen here now, there, we would probably want to see your club. We'll change colour. The club shaft being the blue line and your arms and hands being there. So you're not miles away from where you want to be because the ball's still in view, yeah?
Yeah.
So it's just moving into that better impact position.
Right.
Okay, mate?
Yeah, that's good.
Make sense?
Yeah.